Welcome to the Two Beasts podcast, where best friends Chris and Ollie try and figure out this complicated thing we call life. We hope you enjoy. You're going to have to, mate, because we're live.
Oh,
Moments before, Ollie was talking about a fucking go, and now
we're here.
Why
is the light on still? Is that necessary?
Oh, for fuck's sake. No, it's not. Certainly not.
It's very lit. There we go. Moody now.
Oh, there you go. Right. You are on a bit of a fucking bizarre. Have you sat up higher than normal? What are you doing?
No.
Why are you suddenly wrong?
Oh.
Why are you suddenly wrong? Slouch a bit. That'll do. Right, let's fix that. All
it's
right,
the first time
back.
in human history where someone said, if you slouch a bit, you'll look better.
Welcome back to the Two Beasts podcast with me, fucking Chief, and him, Nobber. How about that for an improv?
Thank you for that intro.
Welcome back.
I feel so, well introduced.
It's actually the first legitimate one.
Nobber.
First legitimate one of 2024, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 9th, but someone was fucking unavailable Saturday, and then someone else was unavailable Sunday. So, here we are.
Luckily, we were just ahead of the game.
We were ahead of the game,
We were ahead of the game. So you've already seen an episode that will have dropped last Sunday, just gone, for us, sitting here.
Speaking of ahead of the game, big update. We're going to have a new intro very, very soon. Yeah, I've been working on it, mate.
What the bloody hell has been going on behind that desk?
Yeah, I know. Well, furious jacking. No, I've been basically the start of this year. I decided that in addition to all we might have mentioned this on a pod before, I can't remember, but in addition to all the normal stuff we do, like making the shorts, filming the episodes, posting the episodes, editing the episodes, and all the rest of it, I'm gonna also do 1 hour a week building something about the pod. So my first target was the intro, because I've always fucking hated that intro. It's been absolute gash. It was something that I cobbled together from episode 1. I just needed something, so I just grabbed a load of clips from episode 1, because that's all we had, chucked it in, and then just left it. But if you remember, in episode 1, I fucked that camera up, so I was on the extreme wrong side of the frame.
Oh, yeah.
So then I went in and just sort of patched new ones in. I think around the Ash episode, I think I took a couple clips from Ash's one and just patched it in. So it's an absolute hash job from day dot. This new one's pretty sick. We'll see how it goes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of this yet. So.
No, you haven't seen any of it yet. I don't think I even told you about it, but I was working on it last week.
I think you did tell me about it, but I just forgot.
I did the first hour last week, and I think I did it took an hour and 20 minutes, and I'll finish it up this week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
There's something for everyone to look forward to. Well, video listeners, not audio listeners.
No, I mean, the intro will change. We'll probably have to re-record the intro bit, but I'm not that far ahead yet.
That's all right. We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that. There's a few things with the old pod. I've been trying to sit and think about how we can diversify the socials as well.
Yeah.
Because it's all very well and good posting stuff from the episodes. Yeah. And I have had a few people tell me where they can't watch the full episodes, the shorts are really good for that because they get the main points from the episode. So I think we still need to post those. Yeah. I think just diversifying what we're actually putting out there so that people are a bit more engaged. Yeah.
Well, that's some ideas.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this is one that we leave up to the comments, because last time we asked for, we got quite a small audience, but last time we asked for help from the comments, we got some really good ideas. So maybe this is one for you. What kind of social media content could we be putting together in addition to just the episode shorts? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's something. I mean, we've kind of gone down the road of diversifying with the different challenges and all that, whatnot.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make a monthly video on the actual challenge progress and document that a bit closer as time goes on. But fuck knows. I was thinking about, in terms of diversifying the pod as well. I was actually talking to Jess about this the other day, and she made me figure it out. fucking figured it out there and then, and I'm going to see if you agree right now.
Oh.
Because remember we were talking about how, like, we've labelled this podcast self-improvement. I think we've mentioned that it's a self-improvement podcast every single fucking episode.
Yeah.
But, I don't know about you, but self-improvement, I don't like it.
It's not that I don't like it. It's more... It's very limiting.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like there's only so much you can talk about cold showers, getting out of bed, fucking just doing the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
There's only so much you can talk about that before someone's going to go, right, so you're actually going to say anything else?
The main conclusion of self-improvement is just fucking get on with it.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So once we've said that, I feel like now we're just sort of going into stuff that we don't need to be going into, or we're trying to stretch an episode into like a major... We're trying to stretch a little point into a major thing. It just doesn't need all that. Like, it's not that deep. Do you know what I mean? But then I realised that this was a theory that my friend Daniel was telling me years ago. He's like, he loves social media, he does. And he was saying how most like famous social media feeds will have different categories. They'll have like 3 to 5 different categories of things that's important to them. So like his was like family, God, fucking fashion, something like that. Like that's his main thing. So you have these like subsidiary categories as well. I try to remember them now, but obviously self-improvement is just one of them, which is where I think we've been going wrong so far. We've just been like, oh, we're about self-improvement because that's one of the things we like to talk about. But there's other things we like to do as well. So probably our podcast is actually, if you look at our 3 different categories, is probably self-improvement, fitness, entertainment.
Yeah.
Sometimes we like to talk about being better. Sometimes we like to talk about bench. And other times we like just take a piss.
Yeah. I'd say those 3 categories work pretty well, yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So like, even if they aren't, well, they probably are categories on Instagram, but like, we were basing our podcast on what Instagram needed us to label it as, for example, as like the primary thing. Just completely forgetting that it's our podcast and we can call it whatever the fuck we want, do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes more sense to me. So I guess conclusion is this year there will be more diversified episodes. To be honest, it's kind of like how there has been already. Like not all of our episodes have been self-improvement.
No.
But yeah, there'll be more where we just sort of have a fucking laugh. There'll be more where we go into the fitness side stuff. And there'll be obviously your standard get rich or die trying mentality.
Yep, I like that.
Yeah.
I think we should... it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I think what you can end up doing is you can end up diversifying too much.
Yeah.
And then you're not really narrowing down an audience.
Yeah.
But then if you just stick to one thing, you're going to have nothing to talk about after a while.
Yeah.
You know, you can only do so many episodes on self-improvement. I mean, even if you look at people who have established podcasts already, like you take Huberman, for example. Huberman, although his podcast is about science, and it's a huge range of science. He's not just talking about doing cold plunges or getting up early in the morning. It's like a huge range of stuff. So, I think that's a good point, and something that we need to start to, like you say, just give ourselves more stuff to talk about, so that we don't feel we have to sit here every week and be like, all right, okay, I've got to tell people how they can be better.
Yeah, it's got to be fucking... That's the other thing I'd hate trying to come across as like, when you call yourself...
we know everything. We know fucking nothing.
I know,
like...
I hate it. Like, that's not what this is about. This whole podcast isn't about us trying to say, oh, we've been through it, we know where you are now, and here's where you need to go next. Like, mate, I know fuck all.
Weirdly, it's our own self-improvement.
It's documenting our shit. Yeah, that's what it is.
It's documenting our own self-improvement, and if that documentation allows you people at home to improve yourselves, that's just a byproduct, isn't it?
Yeah, and so, I hope that we've done that over the episodes. We've like criticised ourselves or each other rather than like an imaginary person, an imaginary listener that we're trying to teach to be better. We're not trying to tell anyone anything.
No.
This is a documentation, not a creation.
Yeah.
Right, well, now we've got all these different topics to come up with. There should be no dramas coming. Should be no dramas coming up with something now, should there?
No, not at all.
No. We didn't even speak to each other this morning. It was 7:24 in the morning right now.
Yep.
And you came downstairs maybe an hour ago.
Yep.
We just fucking said fuck all. We just knew we were going to get this done. I was working, just sort of floating around the house, weren't we?
Yeah.
Didn't even say anything until it was like, right, time for pod then.
Well, that is one thing we found with doing this, is that we don't really want to talk to each other unless it's on a pod.
No. Well.
It is the byproduct. If you're thinking about starting a podcast with your housemate or your best friend, right, just accept the fact that you ain't going to talk to them until you have a pod.
And if you do, there's going to be a constant voice in the back of your mind going,
shut up.
It should have been a fucking pod episode, this.
Save it for a pod.
Yeah,
Save it for a pod.
Yeah.
So.
How was the first 9 days of January treating you? Or it's the first 10 days now, isn't it? It's 10th.
Pretty good, man. It's been nice to get back into the groove of a routine. Because as much as I like having that time off over Christmas, and as much as it's quite nice just to decompress, I do get an itch that kind of makes me go, I'm kind of bored of this now.
And it's for the tools.
Yeah, I feel like I can only do it for a few days. 2 weeks is fucking hell, it's a long time. It's a long time to sort of try and find things to do when in England it's fucking pissing it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're just like, there's only so much I can really do with a day off. Whereas at least if you've got a routine and you're in work, doesn't really matter then at that point, you know? So.
Well, when you just go out on nights out and just go get fucking hammered every night?
No.
No?
No.
Not into that?
Nah.
Don't want to go to the discotheque?
No, mate. Not my thing, that, unfortunately. The discotheque.
Why don't you go to the function, mate?
No.
I think that's what they call it.
The function?
The function, yeah. Get down to the function.
Is that spelt like function?
Have a boogie.
As in F-U-N-K, shun.
Oh, I couldn't think of anything fucking worse.
No, I couldn't either. I mean, each to their own. Again, like we've just said, we're not sitting here telling you what you have to do.
Oh, look,
if you want to go down to the function,
yeah, we've been to the function more than once,
and do some funky dance moves.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But you won't catch my ass out there.
You won't get to see. You won't get to see us. That's the only thing. If you go to the function, you won't get to see us now in 2024. I'm afraid.
No. Sorry.
It is
not
the game.
our thing.
No.
But yeah, other than that, it's been good. It's been good to get back into work and get back into a grind and a routine that I actually just quite enjoy. So
I was really worried. I don't know. I was really worried this year because I fucking spent all that time in that flow, and then I took the 2 weeks off. By the end of it, I was absolutely fucking bad. I was sick of everything. I wasn't really concentrating that much. I was just get it done. Barely clawing through the routine that I had set myself. Obviously, being self-employed, it's all on you, and no one's fucking. We've talked about it before. No one's cracking the stick at you. No. It's all you. So I was barely doing it, making a couple of justifications here and there, bending the rules a little bit, And then I had the 2 weeks off, and for the first 4 or 5 days of that, I was like, oh no, I don't feel like I don't feel like this is going to be enough. I feel like I'm going to get back to January the 1st, and where I should be raring to go, I'm just going to immediately feel like I did at the end of the year. And that worried me a bit, because I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? I can't do something when I go back. I've had these 2 weeks off for a start. But yeah, by the time day 12, 13, 14 came, it was I'm ready. Just kind of transitioning your mind into that state in it. Did the same thing with fasting as well. If I'm about to go into a 48-hour fast, I'll forget that I'm going to do it until I did it for Christmas, did 23rd, 24th, and then broke the fast on the 25th for Christmas dinner. And I completely fucking forgot. I was the morning of the 23rd, I was like, shit, I'm supposed to be fasting, for the next 48 hours. So no time to mentally prepare. So that's pretty rough. Just, you need that window of an hour or so to just transition your mind into, okay, we're doing this now. Get into that mind state. Yeah,
I have that with my job, where I go from doing all the managerial stuff I do now, and I'm on a laptop and doing admin and stuff, to then have to transition into something creative setting.
Yeah,
it's a skill that I'm trying to still work on.
Yeah,
it's a really hard thing to try and switch that mindset from just being sort of doing a monotonous task to then being right, fucking hell, I got to dig deep in the old brain to find some movement and stuff that's going to be fun. So
I'm like that. Just if I've had the afternoon off, like when I finish work for the day, or whatever, those like 2-3 hours in the evening, and I'm chilled out, and I'm like, fuck, I'll go to bed, and when I get up, I've got to do that all again.
The grind restarts.
For about 10-15 minutes, I'm like, no, please don't, no, please. And then after like minute 16 hits, I'm like, okay, I can kind of live with it now. Like, as I'm getting into bed, I'm like, all right, I'm in a different mind state now. It's just there's a little bit of fucking tantrum throwing in my brain when I'm talking about having to go back.
That always happens though. I don't think there's no way that anyone gets up in the morning and just is like solely focused on a task, you know. There's always that thing in the back of your mind that's like.
I feel like getting up in the morning is I'm already there. I'm past it then. I'm like ready to go. But the only exception was last week. Like Thursday's my late night. Each week I go to bed pretty early. I wake up pretty early. But Thursday I'm normally not going to bed till like 10, which for me is like fucking 3 hours too late. So I always have like shit sleep that night. I just fucking get over it basically. But I woke up last week, obviously first week back in the full fitness regime as well. So like your body's extra fucked. And added a lot of new stuff to the program. So like I was extra fucked. And I woke up on Friday morning and I was just like, oh no, I'm fucking alive and that's not a good thing right now.
Yeah.
I'm in bad trouble here. And it was too early, like no sleep, right in the middle of a deep sleep cycle. I was like the Limmy meme, you know, when he's getting out of bed. And I was like, I don't know if I've got this. And what I did was, my strategy was quite sick. I was like, here's the deal. I'll make you a deal, Chris. You get up, you have a wee, and you brush your teeth. See if you do that, and you want to go back to bed after, go back to bed. It's fine. Just do that first, then go back to bed. And obviously, the story is old as time. When I'd had my wee, and I'd brushed my teeth, I was ready to go.
It was go time.
It was go time.
Yeah.
So things had changed there. Because then it was like, all right, well, could you do an hour? Could you do an hour and then go back to sleep? Yeah, I'll probably do that. Yeah, to be fair. And then you get down and do an hour and then it's fucking game over. 2 hours falls, 3 hours falls. Next thing you know, day's done. You're chilling.
It's bite-sized chunks, isn't it?
Sometimes.
You just got to get it. When you're in that point where you just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You just have to break it down.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'll just every time you'll just fob it off. You'll be like, nah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Just you got to make it easier on yourself. Like forget the end goal. Just focus on what you can achieve in those first few hours when you wake up.
Can I do the tiniest? Can I take the first step?
Yeah, where can I get these little wins? Where's the first little win? And even just like, yes, I've had a piss. You know what I mean? It's like, right, what's the next thing I can do? Clean me gnashes. Right, good, next. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you what my win was. I'll tell you what my win was yesterday. I went running. I was having a fucking bit of a mare yesterday. So yesterday was probably the first day of the year where I actually had a fucking fight on my hands. Like, the first day, everything else had gone easy. I was motivated, got on computer, everything worked out. Yesterday was the first day. My motivation was there, but the fucking tools were letting me down big time. There was some serious fucking jippo behavior going on that computer. I was loading it up and I think I know what I did now. I actually done something to make it slow, but the computer was just being so fucking slow and it was crashing and it was freezing. And I lost like an hour probably of my fairly strict schedule to just having to fucking watch that computer spin its wheel, you know, on the mouse.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, okay, it's going to be one of those days, is it? I was like starting to get suspicious of it. And I went in to the gym and I said to Dad, all the knobheads are going to be in today. Because that's the kind of day it is. So just prepare yourself. The fucking 3 biggest knobheads in our gym will all be in there at once, making noise. We'll just have to get over it. Because that's the kind of day I'm having, that's the kind of luck I'm bringing, I'm sorry. Thankfully it was only the one, but still, we went in there, trained, whatever. Then I went running, and I've been doing 5K every day in January so far. Yesterday was run 9, and that was the first day where my fucking shins were on fire. It was like shin splints are right back in the game, like today anyway. But yeah, the whole run, they were just like, it's like I'd done, imagine shoulder press where you just have like really light weights, but you've just done 1,000 reps. That kind of burn. I was like, fucking, this sucks. But the little win yesterday was I was running past my old college, and all the kids were out on lunch, and they were all sat outside in a gaggle. And I was obviously in my tank top or whatever because I'd just come out from the gym. And I heard one kid go, "What the fuck? Are you on steroids, bro?"
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, right, immediate voice note to Dad. Guess what just happened? I've just been accused of being on test. Let's go.
But not for the first time either.
Well, I think this is time 4 now.
Yeah.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
Lifetime of 4.
I mean, that's a pretty cool position to be in some regard. When you think about it, like, you know, because there's that thing in the internet in there of like fake natties and fucking all sorts of people that say they're on roids and they're not, and vice versa. Well, no, not say they're on roids. They always say they're not on roids and then they are.
Yeah.
But like to have a physique that kind of makes people go, I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder. It must be pretty good, that, in some regard.
Yeah, it is. I had to, when it first started happening, bear in mind, it's happened, I can count it on one hand 4 times.
It's not many times.
It's not many times.
Yeah. It's not like you walk out in public and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Steroids.
But also, one of those times was someone telling me that someone else had said it when I wasn't in the room, kind of thing. So like they were saying it behind my back, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how often that happens. I mean, if it happened once, it might have happened more times. Who knows? But yeah, I had to decide for a minute whether or not I was offended by it or not, because imagine right now, right? I'm talking about fucking people accusing me of steroids. Imagine like people on TikTok right now watching this short for the first time when I'm in my jumper and all that, looking skinny. They're like, "What the fuck's this guy talking about? Who is this cunt?"
Yeah.
But I should carry on nonetheless. I had to decide whether or not I was offended by it or not, because like I've worked pretty fucking hard. Do you know what I mean? There's like a good, not quite 15 years, 12 years of training going into it, and it's like just to have it written off as, oh, he's juicing, it's a bit upsetting.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? James Smith, PT, has this really good thing. I've said it to you a couple of times, but he was talking about whether Logan Paul was on steroids, and he said, if you heard clip clop, clip clop, clip clop outside the front of your house, it could be a zebra, but it's probably an horse. And I've used that so much since I heard that. And I was kind of like, well, you know what then, fair enough, because there aren't many people benching, at least in my gym. You go to JD in Plymouth, fucking everyone's benching what I'm benching. There's no competition. Like, everyone's like it out there. But in like our small town gym, where most of the people that go have always lived in a small town, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's small town mentality, isn't it?
There is not too many people benching, fucking, how do you say this without sounding like a cunt? There's not too many people benching what I'm benching. Now I said it, fuck it. All right, I said it. You watching this, I'm sure you can bench more than me. Fuck you, I don't care. Right, I've said it. Right.
But like you've just laid out, in the environment that you are in on a regular basis, there isn't. That's a fact.
It's a big
not
fish.
Even like, it's a big, I
just wish you said it, not me. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, it sounds like a cunt when you start talking about it.
I can say it if you want, if it makes you feel better.
No, don't know, because now they know I'm just, oh. But you know what I mean? It's
You just need to accept it. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is. It's like when I go, it's the same thing as when I go climbing, like, you know. And obviously, like, it's very different now back to how it was in climbing, because there's so many, it's the same thing as a gym. There's so many more people, so many more normies just being able to climb actually quite hard, you know. So when it was a really funny one. I had it the other day, right? So I was in Plymouth in the hangar, and I was in there with my girlfriend climbing. Wasn't working, anything like that. And there was a group of like people who were just regulars down there, right? And I could see, I was trying this white, which for anyone that hasn't climbed the hangar before is like the next, black's the hardest circuit, then it's yellow, then it's white, right? So it was a pretty hard one. And I just could not, for the life of me, do this first move. Whether it was because I was like not quite long enough to reach the hold, or which I think in the end is what it was. But for some reason, these lads decided to take it upon themselves to like use that as an opportunity to be like, him over there, he's normally climbing. Like I watch him on the YouTube videos and I watch him on the Instagram. He climbs well hard. But now I have an opportunity to be like, oh, well, I could do that white and he can't.
I see.
And it's like a weird. I was just like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what does that? But it's such an egotistical thing to do. You know what I mean? It's just like. Yeah, it's a funny thing when people they will pounce on any opportunity to make themselves feel better.
I know.
You know, it's hilarious, really. But I was just like, it was a really funny.
I was chatting to. I saw my accountant the other day. I went to a gym in Plymouth, the Nuffield.
Yeah.
It's not one that I'm a member to. I just got a guest pass. I was in there, and my accountant goes there, and I saw him in there. And my accountant is a fucking machine. He's like 50 something, I think. I don't want to insult him. I'm pretty sure he's in his 50s. And he fucking just decided, like, a few years ago.
You don't want to insult him in case he fucks your tax return up.
Yeah. But he just decided a few years ago, he's like, I'm just going to be a powerlifter. And he started lifting mad shit. And his deadlift is insane. His squat is insane. I actually don't know what his deadlift is, but I've seen videos from a long time ago and it was insane back then. Presumably it's gone up. His squat, he told me the other day, it was fucking huge numbers.
What are we talking?
Far outperforming me.
What are we talking?
I think his squat was like 210.
Hey, that's fucking good.
I think that's what he said. It might have even been more.
Yeah.
But mate, fucking insane squat.
Yeah.
I was sat there with my 160, like, okay, I should shut the fuck up then. But the one thing I was confident with was my bench.
Yeah.
And I remembered like a couple years ago, or like a year ago, he was at 140. And I was like, right, I'm just not gonna fucking mention numbers. I'm just gonna ask him about his numbers, how he's performing, because he's winning competition. So he's fucking like, he doesn't need me to come along. Because it would have been that exact same thing. I felt like if I'd just gone in there and go, oh, you're a powerlifter, yeah. Well, guess what? I can bench more than you.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like same thing.
Yeah.
I was trying to avoid that when possible, but it's just hard being so fucking strong, do you know what I mean? It's hard.
It's hard.
It's a gift and a curse.
Oh, mate. It's hard being good at things.
It is hard being good at things.
Yeah.
Let's see what this is like.
What in the sweet Jesus?
What happened there, mate? What happened?
Right, I see why you've done this, because we're on the pod and everything else. What he's done, ladies and gentlemen, is put salt in my cough.
Mate, I put so much in.
Mate. Actually, that's rancid.
Let's have a go. Fucking hell. That was savage, mate. Mate, I'd actually told you.
Do you know what's sad, right?
Yeah.
The saddest thing is not even that you've put salt in my coffee. Right? The saddest thing is that now I have to wait
for another
to have a fucking another one. Because I can't do it because I'm in the middle of a pod.
I should have made a spare one for you in another glass.
Yeah, well.
Oh, that was
Good.
fucking worth it.
Good.
I told you right at the start. I told you before we started airing, I told you I'm going to put salt in your coffee. Do you remember me saying that? Mm-hmm. You said something about I like bumhole or something like that, and I was like, I'm going to put salt in your coffee. And then you just...
Have you just made up you've just made up a conversation?
Remember what he just said. Remember what he just said. Listeners, viewers, remember what he just said. I made up a conversation.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah.
See you after the break.
What's up, winners? If you're loving this podcast, make sure to drop us a 5-star review on Spotify. And if you aren't already, be sure to follow us on our social media channels. That's YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. 2 Beast Podcast, the number 2 Beast Podcast. Let's get back to the show. Don't want to be eating on the pod. That's gross.
Well, here we are. Do you know what I mean? Here we are eating on the pod. I've had another outfit change. Ollie's had a coffee change. I was pleased with that. Did you notice how when you were picking it up earlier to blow on it, I was like stuttering because I thought you were about to sip it. I was trying to speak, but I was like looking at you like, oh, this could be it. I don't want to get into anything like. I don't want to get on a thought spree now.
No, you're lucky. You were lucky.
There was a couple of times when I was looking at that coffee, thinking about it, and I was trying not to laugh, but...
You can never make me a coffee again, you know that, don't you? Do you know what I mean? That's the point we're at now. The trust has been broken.
We were out in the kitchen, he was like, you think you know someone?
That's it. You think you know someone? Nearly 15 years.
Well, we're having a go at a new thing today, eating on pod as well. This will bring the viewers in. Mukbang, mate, isn't it?
Mukbang viewers, they're going to love this. And we talked about that on a couple of episodes ago.
We did.
And how annoying it is to listen to people eat.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Here I'm scranning.
Scranning your, whatever it is, caramel shortbread.
I gave him 2 caramel shortbreads as peace offering for the coffee prank.
Oh.
Better, is it?
Oh, we're back.
How are you just drinking that straight away?
I put cold water in it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Don't like waiting.
Well.
I'm not waiting for the cough. I want to get it in.
Well, that's fair enough, I suppose. Yeah. Well, if you want to put water in it, mate, you can, I suppose.
Oh.
What now?
I just licked my lips and there was salt on them.
There was an ungodly amount of fucking salt put in that cup, I'm not going to lie.
I don't know. I could taste it. Christ.
So could I had a go. Don't you hear me fucking crying about it?
It was like being in the fucking sea, that was.
That was worse than the sea. That had a higher salt concentration than the sea, for sure.
Oh, yeah, probably. Well, unless you're in like the, what is it, the Dead Sea, isn't that got quite a high level of salt? That's why you can float on it.
Maybe.
Is that right?
I don't know. I don't know about maths
Fact
and
check
science
that
and
for
stuff.
me, bro.
Yeah, all right. I'll do it right now. I'll fucking fact
Check it. Dead Sea, high salt content allows you to float.
Does Dead Sea have highest salinity? That's the same word, isn't it?
Is it? Probably. I'm sure the comment section now is
Don
rife.
Juan is significantly saltier than most other hypersaline lakes around the world. The Dead Sea has a salinity of 34%. The Great Salt Lake varies between 5 and 27%. So yeah, shit.
Yeah, that's why you can float on the top of it, basically.
What is standard sea salinity? Cool. 35 ppt.
And what was the Dead Sea?
35%.
There we go.
So we've got ourselves...
So we've got some weird numberage going on.
I have
here.
no idea what any of that fucking means, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
But there you go.
Oh, 3.5%. So the sea's 3.5%, the Dead Sea's 35%.
Oh, that's a significant difference.
So it's about 10x.
Yeah.
According to the US Geological Survey and earthobservatory.nasa.gov. Okay, it's fairly fucking reasonable.
Yeah.
I suppose anyone can call themselves NASA on the internet.
They can, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, in fact, I'm going to call myself NASA right now. Hi, I'm Chris. I'm from NASA. And today I'm going to tell you about the sea. The sea has a 3.5% salinity on average, whereas the Dead Sea has a 35% salinity on average. These biscuits, just nice. Back to you.
In the stewed.
In the stewed.
Nice.
In the stewed, mate. So what are you doing, this week?
What am I doing this week? Well, we've got a big competition coming up in Plymouth. Mm-hmm. One of the first, which are going to be in a lot of the centres. Basically same comp, but different rounds in the centres. So that's the first one on Thursday, Friday. Other than that, not much. Going climbing today, though, outside.
Yep.
That's been a while, so that's going to be fun.
That's why we're up at the goddamn crack of bastard dawn.
Yeah, to do this poddage.
Do the pod. Well, you're up at the crack of dawn. I've been up anyway.
You've been up since the middle of the night.
No, I have not. I was manifesting a 3 a.m. wake up this morning though. Like, I wasn't going to set my alarm for that, but I was like, if I can get up at 3, I get a whole extra hour in before fucking like Ollie comes down, and I'll just be that bit further ahead on my work. And I woke up, looked at my phone, 3:15. So get in. I'll take it. 45 minutes.
Take the 45. Yeah.
But then I was just pissing about then because I was like, I'm 45 minutes ahead. I'll just do whatever. And then like it was like 5 to 4. I started work.
Didn't get on the tools.
Didn't get on the tools immediately, but well, you know.
What are we going to do?
Tools are tools, mate.
The tools are the tools.
Yeah.
Varying tools.
Varying tools. Right, well, I'll tell you what then, why don't we do our fucking segments while we're here, because we ain't got fuck all to say really, have we?
Yeah, right.
All right.
Well, the challenge segment is obviously different now.
Yes.
Because that's a month thing.
Yeah.
But what we are going to have is a before and after of the old stretching, so that's good.
Have you done, right, we need to decide right now, or rather the viewers need to decide if they so wish. I've already decided, but it can be vetoed by public authority if they so wish. The rules of the challenge. Initially it was stretch every day for 31 days, measure the results. You haven't stretched every day.
Correct.
I haven't stretched every day.
Yeah.
I failed on day one. If
Yeah.
we're talking about stretching every day, I failed on day one.
Yeah.
My first stretching day was the 4th. So what I have decided in my head is, like, okay, if we fail the challenge, we fail the challenge. If you want to get a fucking booby prize out, then whatever, right? However, the whole point of it is that we actually do the stretching. So to still get the meat and potatoes out of the challenge, rather than just give up on day 4 and then get to 4 weeks' time and say on the pod, oh yeah, by the way, we failed that, we never did it, because that would just be shit. I'm going to do, on some of the days, I'm going to do a morning session and an evening session until I've caught up. So I'm like 3 days behind, basically. I'm owed 3 sessions.
I think I'm probably the same.
So if I do every day from now, which is what I've been doing, and then do a morning and an afternoon session on 3 of those days, that'll be 31 sessions with a reasonable amount of spaced out time. It's not like I'm doing one double session in one, because that just wouldn't really work. And then we'll see.
I mean, the other way you can look at it is essentially, because it's a progress, it's not like a weekly challenge where it's like, right, all you've got is a week to do this. But it's a progress thing.
Yeah,
so as long as by the time you get to the end of 30 days, there's a progression.
Yeah. I think it's a cool message as well, because like, say we don't do it every day and we still see mad improvement, then it's like, well, there you go. You can fucking fall off a bit. Like, it's all right.
Yeah, it's okay it's okay to falter. It's not the end. It's not like like you said. It's not like you falter and then that's you just I'll just fucking give up now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's not about that. It's about getting back on the horse and cracking on again, because there is still progress to be made.
I'll also make this rule as well, and this will help you out. If people viewing this podcast decide that that is cheating, and they want to try and veto that and say that we failed the challenge, that's okay. But the only votes that are going to count are people that have run 5K every day in January alongside with me. Suck my cock, in other words.
We're going to be waiting a while for that.
Exactly.
Oh, I see what you've done.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you've done.
Yeah, I've just nullified all of the fucking community. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Good.
Because I don't think it's cheating, so fuck it. We'll allow it. If we're in agreement, then we allow it.
What's the odds now that some random TikToker has been doing 5K every day for the month of January?
I've already thought of this, mate.
Oh, go on.
That's 1 vote,
Okay.
and our votes are 1 vote each.
Okay.
So we still win.
So we have to have at least
Mate,
2.
we've had like 7 people tell us that this podcast is pointless and we should delete it. We haven't done that.
That is true.
So
That
we're
is
not
true.
going to fucking listen to this knobhead now.
Yeah.
Whoever he is. running
Basically,
5K every
it's
day.
our pod and we do what we want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we keep going,
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not you specifically would like to watch it.
However, having said that, we do still have 2 forfeits that we need to do, and we
do have 2
we will
forfeits.
be fulfilling those.
So this comes back to what I was saying about doing the 1 extra hour a week thing, because obviously right now I'm doing the intro because I've just that's my pet hate. I hate our intro. The next thing I could do with an hour a week is sort that out. Because you said it was like an app or something online, right?
I've got the app on my phone.
All right.
Yeah. It's literally just a spinny wheel thing that you just put each of the forfeits in and then you spin it and then whatever it lands on, that's what you get.
So I'll set up probably next week. Let's say next week's 1 hour, because this week's 1 hour is going to be
Intro.
finishing the intro. Next week's 1 hour will be sorting that out, and then on that,
I mean, I could also just do it on my phone. It's not like it's a difficult.
You could.
thing
I
to
think we'd do it on the laptop though, and have the laptop here, and like make a big scene of it.
Oh, I'll do that.
Yeah.
That can be my 1 hour then.
Yeah. All right. Are you going to do an hour as well? Yeah.
Well, that is something that I would like to start doing. Yeah, is putting more time into the pod, because I feel like 2 heads are better than one, innit?
Yeah.
Don't
True.
want to just leave you with everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to do more like shorts from the episodes as well, because first of all, I did all of them for the first 10, 15 episodes, whatever it was. And then you started helping out somewhere within that time. And then you basically ended up doing all of them for the last 5-6 weeks. So I'm trying to come back in and contribute again. I finished off your 19 so far, which you'd already done 45 minutes of. So not really that fucking brilliant, but I would love to just find the morale and motivation to just sit down and smash a load out. But yeah, what could you do for 1 hour a week other than shorts?
Well, I was thinking about doing a load of research and just smashing down some notes of things that we could do to improve it.
Yeah.
Specifically from a social media side, because that's where I feel like we can grow the audience. Because what I'm noticing is that obviously the shorts, because they're shorts and the nature of people's attention span nowadays, that's where the viewage is.
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of the viewers, you only have to look back a few of, not that many of them to see that it was dropped off a bit recently, but there was there was a good while that it was like loads of views every time.
Yeah.
And they still occasionally pop up, but then if you look at the actual videos in terms of the full length podcast, the viewership is not amazing.
No, but it was never going to be.
But it was never going to be amazing because the amount of people that actually have time to sit down and, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm one of those weirdos that will, if it's a YouTube podcast, I will put the YouTube podcast on and then do something whilst I'm just listening to that. I'm not watching the video. Of
course.
Whereas I feel like most people would probably just fucking go to Spotify and do that.
Yeah, maybe.
So maybe Spotify's away. But I think it's more so just a case of it's like one of those things that the amount of videos I've watched is just more active. Just be more active through your social media, putting stories up,
stories.
Doing loads of stuff like that.
I mean, there's
getting
nothing
to know behind the scenes and stuff, and us just doing, you know what I mean.
There's nothing stopping us from doing a story to say, hey, we're filming another episode.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's literally all it needs.
Yeah.
It's just to be active.
So we do need to revise that. I mean, because even at the start, you've still shared a couple recently, but I was sharing loads more actual posts. I think I've shared one in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
We don't push new episodes out.
No.
We just release them silently and fuck off.
Yeah.
So just stuff like that, definitely needs to get worked on. So podcast theory, basically. Maybe that's your thing. You start over the next couple of weeks just coming up with an actual plan. Let's start with the perfect plan. Or what I mean is that goes against all the fucking rules, doesn't it? Let's start with, if we had unlimited time,
what would we do? Yeah. If this was full-time job, what would you do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then we'll scale it back because some of those things, if we do it that way, we might be able to do more than we think. Because there might be a way that I can use fucking Premiere to set up a template that makes it super quick or whatever to do that. I will say with the shorts game, also keep in mind that this is only phase 1 of the plan with the shorts game, because right now we post shorts fairly rapidly. We don't really put much thought into them. At least I don't. I just fucking whack them up now. Quick caption, fucking
done. Yeah.
Simple. But what we will do is go back through all of our shorts at one point and see what the top performers were. Make a note of them. Go back, because we still got all the shorts. Even if we've deleted raw footage from the actual pods, we still got all the shorts. Go back and re-edit them to be actually fucking sweet, and put your AI images in there and you're all singing and dancing stuff. Make it look nice. All the rest of it. That is still on the task list, and then hopefully those will be actually optimized for engagement, so that they'll be really pushing out there.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. Again, that'll be one of our tasks this year will be to which TikTok episodes, which shorts actually did really well, and then going back.
And then the other thing for me to do would be to go through that list that we started doing the other day or a few months ago of guests, and just see if I can actually contact a few people to see if they're interested, sort of thing.
Strong play.
Even if it's just getting people back on, that want to talk that we've already had on that might have done things within the past 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
That's new that they want to talk about.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's push for new people first for sure.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah.
Because those are the ones. Those are the ones that really did well. If you go back through the viewership, like
they were the ones that did well. And fucking. I don't know. Maybe we can do like. Anyway, fuck it. I don't know. We'll think about this.
We'll work on that.
Think about this over time. This has become a Podmin episode.
Hey, Podmin episode.
That was an accidental fucking word that turned out to be perfect. How often does that happen?
It doesn't. But that's a quality word.
That's Podmin section there.
Yeah.
Bit of Podmin.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we did the Podmin here on Pod, because one of the things I think is cool about this pod, at least, or what will be cool in the future, is that we have made all major decisions live on Pod.
Yeah.
Everything that we, like, from the name to what we were going to talk about, to then, like, earlier in this episode, steering away from that and going into something else. Like, we've made all those calls right here, right now. There's very little that we've discussed outside of this podcast.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of documenting, remember the whole point, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The whole point of this podcast is what happens when two nay cunts do 100 episodes of a podcast.
Yeah.
What happens?
Yeah.
You're seeing it now. This is what happens. We go through these iterations and discussions.
Yeah, you can see the evolution of the pod. That's the cool thing.
Someone will be able to one day go back, could be us, could be someone else, take all these different chunks and actually just put together the timeline of exactly how this podcast was created to wherever it gets to in 100 episodes.
Yeah.
Cue the TikToker that says, "You'll go nowhere, mate."
Quit now while you're ahead.
Yeah, fuck off.
So, what was the other one that we had the other day? Sell all of the stuff that you've put into it.
Yeah, he was like, sell all you've got. Right, boys, sell all your podcast equipment. Get out of the massive debt you've got yourselves into. It's like, who the fuck is this guy? What are you talking about?
He thinks we're sat there spending 30 grand on mics and God knows what else, like cameras and all that shit.
How much money have you spent on this podcast?
Absolutely nothing.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All these cameras,
nothing
if you're
at all.
wondering, were existing equipment for my video production business.
Yeah.
So we have spent £0.
Oh, that's a lie, actually. I've probably spent like less than probably like about a tenner on more t-shirts.
Oh, t-shirts, you did get some Primark t-shirts, didn't you? Yeah.
Other than that, that's all I spent. So unless he wants me to get rid of those, because I'm £10 in debt.
£10 in debt, mate. Careful, mate. You shouldn't have got a loan out for that. God. Especially not from that dodgy loan shark company. What was it? 3,000 APR?
Oh, it was ridiculous.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
How much you owe him now?
Take out a 10, I've got to give him 10 mil back.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Hate that for you.
Yeah.
But I fucking hate payday loans.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sad business. We'll listen to that guy. Well, he also said... fucking, I know that you'll want to save this so that you can prove me wrong in 5 years, but you won't.
Try to like sort of do like a shit sandwich type deal. Yeah.
What a fucking guy, man.
Hilarious, man.
I'm so sad for those guys. I really am. There's been a lot of TikTokers recently, like replying to comments endlessly and like trying to like properly debate me on stuff, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I've seen that.
There gets a point where it's like,
what are we actually debating here?
But yeah, you're making a different point.
Yeah, totally.
Like, you're not talking about you rebuted what I said in the podcast episode. I explained to you how I meant something slightly different to what you're going on about, and then you're continuing to just say how your point is right.
Yeah.
It's like, I know. Yes, you are right. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's that opinion thing, isn't it? It's my opinion is right, and regardless of how logical or how correct your point is, that doesn't matter.
I simply must be correct.
Correct, yeah.
Yes, I simply must be correct.
Yeah, it's so silly. It's so silly. That people have the time to sit down and do that is outrageous.
I know. Yeah. Well, I wanted to say that too. There's 2 people recently that I can think of that did it. I wanted to say that to them, and then I realised like I'm also commenting as well. And I just couldn't be making the justification of like, look, I'm trying to build a pod, you're just a loser type of deal. So I just fucking left it alone. But
that's kind of what you have to do, really.
I'll have to check the other one, but the first one did it. There was like fucking 13, 14 comments between us, like each. And he just deletes the thread. And I'm like, what was the fucking point in that?
It's weird though with that, isn't it? Because I don't know whether TikTok or Instagram deletes the thread.
Oh, TikTok's definitely... I've been accused of being a Chinese communist before just because TikTok deletes comments.
Yeah.
You better know him.
And it's nothing to do with us. It's to do with the app. Yeah.
No.
The other thing I realised the other day with YouTube is that because it only on the comments it says top comments. Because I go on it sometimes and it's like 2 comments. You click on it and it's nothing. Whereas if you actually click on, I think if you click on like filtered instead of top comments, it actually brings them up.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh right, that's interesting.
Yeah, filtered comments are like when you swear, basically.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell from TikTok, like this guy put one comment. He was a troll anyway, so he was like just spamming fucking nastiness. But he put one comment that showed up, and then he put another one saying, "What was your fucking point made?" or something like that. And then because he said "fucking," TikTok just hidden it for me to review and say, "Are you sure you want this on your platform?" Obviously, I'd been away doing, real life stuff, so I didn't have time to fucking sit here and watch him live posting all these comments. But he had obviously been on the app every 5 minutes because he's a fucking total loser. So he'd come back, seen that his comment was gone, and he was like, then he put another one. "Why are you deleting comments? Are you the Chinese government or something?" And I was like, "Hey. Honestly,
I've just been doing my stuff.
Poor man. I'm not working. I actually work.
Working,
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's another comment that we love to receive is people saying that we shouldn't quit our day jobs. It's like, we haven't.
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, what do you mean we just jacked it all in?
This isn't like make or break for us. Like, we're not relying on this for our bills. Do you know what I mean? We're doing this for fun.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
It does make you wonder how many of those are just bot accounts. I mean,
or just like fucking knobs. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Part of me, sometimes it's more likely that they're bots than others. Sometimes they're pretty just fucking bait, like similar stuff. We've had the same comment about like giving up, like give it up or whatever. Don't quit the day job. Like, we've had that exact same comment, pretty much word for word, like 15 times across the lifetime of this pod. It could just be a really cliche phrase. It could be one of those It could be one of those phrases like, "Oh, it's a dog eat dog world," or whatever the case. But I don't fucking hear that too often outside of that. Like, I know it's a saying, but it sounds like something AI would write. And then there's others that are clearly just people that are very, very hurt by stuff we've said. Like the UFC one.
Yeah.
People didn't like that.
No.
People didn't like the fact that I criticised their beloved UFC. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, one guy telling me that,
funny.
telling me that he's been in loads of UFC fights, and I was like, mate, no, you haven't. No, you haven't.
Prove it. Yeah.
You haven't got. His page was like just a random compilation of other people's shit. I was like, loser. I love it when TikTok commenters tell me that their girlfriend said as well. It's like, you ain't got one. Don't fucking lie to me.
Yeah.
You ain't got one.
Yeah.
Fucking never mind. Well, all right, we've got 5 minutes. So let's do the AI segment then. So the AI segment, we pay for a subscription. We've taken out mountains and mountains of debt.
Oh, that's another thing to add to the list that we've spent on the pod.
Yep. Yeah. We've mountains and mountains of debt to pay $20 a month, whatever it is, for Midjourney, which is a software or not really a software, but an AI program that you give it a prompt and it gives you an image. So we do this segment now where we both come up with our own half of a prompt, chuck it in a Midjourney, and then post the results on the shorts. So, who's starting? Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot, you fucking knob. God damn it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Fucking yes. Right, you go first.
I'll go first. All right.
It's got to be funny. Remember, the whole point of this game is not for us to just get a passable image. It's for us to be as humorous as possible. This has got to get the fucking likes, the views, the clicks, all of it. That's what we're competing for.
Okay. Let's say
A random animal, a random person,
Yeah.
a random object.
A bear
Yeah.
in an umbrella hat.
Okay. My half has an accident.
Nice.
Yeah.
Has an accident.
Has an accident in inverted quotation marks.
Yeah.
The inverted
So it
quotation
could be
marks.
like this.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. I don't want to say shits himself because we might get kicked off the platform.
That's true.
So if I say accident,
Yeah.
we'll leave it up to the AI
What
gods.
if you put accident poo emoji? Does it understand emoji?
No, because that give away the game. No, look, plausible deniability is an absolute must in a public domain.
That is true.
That's the thing I don't like about Midjourney is that it's just a Discord server. So it's the weirdest thing ever. You just go in and everyone else is typing in their prompts and coming up with their images and you're like seeing all their work. And it's like,
yeah, that is odd.
it's good for accountability because obviously you're not like getting people say like fucking bum rape or whatever on there. But it's bad for like you having fun. It's not your tool. It's you're paying to be a part of this community.
I would imagine they've probably done that for a reason, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to try and keep it under control in some regard.
I think so, and I think fair enough. But
But I've realised, actually, since we've started doing it, I've seen more and more stuff on like Instagram where people have definitely been using Midjourney. You know, like there's so many AI images now. It's ridiculous.
well, I followed before I knew how to use Midjourney myself, which is not that fucking hard, by the way.
No.
I followed a guy called Daryl something who was posting these images all the time, and I knew they were AI generated. I didn't give a fuck. Like, I knew that he was just doing it with the click of a button. Didn't care. The images were nice to look at. It was nice to see them on my feed. I love the like color science behind it, and like the palettes used that AI generates, the composition, all that. Like that's what I was using it for as a creative. I was like just using those as reference images for how to frame stuff. It didn't matter to me that the images were impossible. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of like consumer interest, like a lot of reasons to post it.
Yeah.
It's just going to get more and more saturated, isn't it, as time goes on, I suppose.
Indeed.
That's the game. Right, well, we've got fucking 2 minutes left. Do you want to say anything?
I mean, it's always at the end of a pod where you're just like, well,
It's done now, and it can't be
done,
asked.
isn't it?
Give them something motivational.
give them something
Right,
motivational.
here's the context.
Okay.
Somebody's having a really fucking bad day.
Yeah.
Right, they've tuned into this podcast. They're on a drive home.
Yeah.
Maybe they started the podcast this morning.
Yeah.
Right, they're finishing it up now on their drive home.
Yeah.
They've had a long day. It's
Yeah.
gone a bit shit. They're trying to have a better day tomorrow, but they just don't believe it's possible. Tell them.
It's all going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. You're going to wake up tomorrow. Tomorrow is a new day. Get out there. Get on the tools. The game is the game. And above all, enjoy yourself whilst you do it.
There you go. That was lovely. That was lovely. If you wake up, you have a chance.
Yep.
If you wake up, you have a chance.
Yep.
All right then. Well, on that fucking touching note, goodbye. We will see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to the Two Beast podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this podcast on whatever your preferred platform is. We'll see you next time. All the best.